Depart in peace. Peacefully they go. Wolf
An
chasing
enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. Slain. An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
They laugh. And bow. Dear wolf.
An ally has been slain.
Those who run from death still in life.
Enemy double kill.
All things linger.
Our shadow.
Down. Double kill. Enemy killing spree. An enemy has been slain.
All will know us.
Enemy killing spree.
Your next treat, dear wolf.
Turret plating will fall soon. Shut down. Enemy rampage.
There are so many.
Killing Your team has destroyed a turret.
Follow the tracks.
Enemy has been slain. Rampage.
Yet they are never prepared.
Your turret has been destroyed. An ally has been slain. Unstoppable. Double kill.
The only
An
treat.
ally has been slain.
Such befalls all who bear our
None can hide.
Has been slain.
I wonder how they see me.
Godlike. Your turret has been destroyed. An ally has been slain.
It's smaller than the diagram.
Tomorrow is a hope, never a promise.
Shut down.
Ah, the sweet smell of science.
Enemy has been slain. Enemy double kill.
Everyone
Enemy
lamb
triple
has
kill.
beauty fades. Shine once more before the end.
Hurry, Lamb. Faster.
Shall we, dear wolf?
Race in air.
Has been slain.
None can hide.
Your turret has been destroyed. Executed.
Go, wolf!
An enemy is dominating. You have slain an enemy.
Fear makes the chase more fun. And everywhere Lamb went.
Wolf was shaken.
Allies have been slain. An enemy is dominating.
Those who run from death
Has disappeared.
Smell their food. They race from us.
only to find us sooner.
An enemy is godlike. Enemy double kill.
Makes for a cleaner death. Those who dread us grant us
Your turret has been destroyed.
go easily.
Enemy killing spree. An has been slain. An enemy is legendary. An enemy is godlike. Your turret has been destroyed. A summoner has disconnected. Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
Fear not yet.
You have been slain. Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy is legendary. Your inhibitor has been destroyed. An enemy is legendary. Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed.
Favor likes closing out.
Defeat.
I'm on the case.
My blade is yours.
Hello everyone and welcome back to a best of 5 series of Professional StarCraft 2. Today's time for a Protoss versus Zerg, where in game number 1 we find ourselves on Glittering Ashes. Spotting right here in the top right corner, playing with the Red Protoss from Denmark. We have the man who many consider to be the next big hope when it comes to playing with the Protoss pieces. He's been making a name for himself over the last couple of years, looking ridiculously strong, even though he's only 16 years old. Of course that means we have MaxSpecs. His opponent though, in the opposite corner, a man who doesn't really lose Zerg versus Protoss. As a matter of fact, over the last 365 days, he's got roughly 90% win rate in Zerg versus Protoss played against other professional gamers, played against, tournament players. It's pretty ridiculous. Of course, playing here with the blue Zerg drones, we are looking at Mr. Serral's main hatch. So, Serral, yeah, definitely the most established non-Korean StarCraft 2 pro. I don't think there's really a whole lot of doubt about that. And then MaxSpecs, the biggest up-and-coming player. I mean, I do feel like this is going to be an uphill battle for MaxSpecs, but he decides to start off this game, and with it, this best of 5 series, with a Forge. Is Max really going to cannon rush Serral? Is he really? Does he have balls big enough to cannon rush Serral? I think he has to. The problem is if you build a Forge, you delay your Nexus and your Cybercore and everything else, there's going to be a Cybercore right here as a follow-up. You have to deal some sort of damage. There's only one probe out on the map. Okay, since the drone is stuck chasing this probe, yep, Max is going to start right here with one pylon, but he's going to need to add a couple more since Serral has already pulled a drone. He's going to send more. I'm gonna see what the surface area right here. Oh, okay, he's gonna send a couple more. But the surface area right here was very first pylon. It's not gonna happen, right? Yeah, there's floating cannon number 1, floating cannon number 2. That's a pylon right over there. So he's created a nice little, floating cannon sandwich right over here. And that is a successful cannon rush for sure. A second probe did move all the way across the map. There isn't a deck right now as a follow-up too. Keep in mind that the timing right here of these floating cannons is pretty good as well. So Serral decided to let the hatch finish. Huh, he's gone for a third hatch right now of his own, but I think that this is the end of the natural, right? I mean, these floating cannons are definitely in range. And there we go. Okay, so game number 1 is starting off with a bang. I mean, there's a lot of creep over here. I was gonna say, is he gonna really add on even more? That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. You can't build anything as a Protoss player on creep. So he's starting up a Nexus right now. He hasn't gone for any sort of tech structure just yet. Okay, he's coming up on 150 gas at this point. If he wants to put down a Stargate over here, I mean, I don't know if it's a good idea, but if he wants to, the hatchery needs to be gone first, and then you need to wait like a minute or two before all the creep is gone, so I think that would be a little bit too late. He'll probably go for a Stargate at home. Although he does have, yeah, okay, I was gonna say, he does have the money for it for already quite a little bit, so quite late, all things considered. Anyways, so where do we go from here, Mr. MaxSpecs? So you've successfully built a bunch of cannons on the other side of the map. How much is this really gonna bother Serral? Because when you think about it, right, when you do the math, the cost right here for Serral was a little bit of lost mining time with the drones, right? He's now gonna have to transfer as well a couple of his workers to watch the third days. But really, like, the main cost for him has been a hatchery and a drone that, like, was consumed, I guess, to build that hatchery. Whereas for MaxSpecs, he had to invest a whole lot more minerals to build all of this, right? And he's obviously also had a couple of probes out on the map that are gonna make this a whole lot harder. Now he's gonna continue onwards though with a couple more structures. There's that Stargate. Okay, nice Evo chamber block right there by Cyril. There's a Roach Warren right now coming up. There's an Oracle. Okay. I feel like that Oracle should have already been going out for a little while, though. I feel like the Stargate was late, and so is that Oracle. Normally, the first Oracle arrives at this point on the other side of the map. And Max Spec is only like halfway done at this point with that unit. So how exactly is this going to work out, though? This would be great against someone who's not very good at the game, but I'm not entirely convinced that it's going to work out against Cyril. Cyril, at this point, not really got a very strong eco at all, but he is catching a few more. Got one more of those adepts. There's a Void Ray as a follow-up, too. Obviously, he can just transition into a macro game if he wants to, right? But the fact that he decided to add on even more structures here makes me think that he wants to continue dealing more damage. Probably go for a Stargate at home. Although he does have, yeah, okay, I was gonna say, he does have the money for it for already quite a little bit, so quite late, all things considered. Anyways, so where do we go from here, Mr. Max Specs? So you successfully build a bunch of cannons on the other side of the map. How much is this really gonna bother Cyril? Because when you think about it, right, when you do the math, the cost right here for Cyril was a little bit of lost mining time with the drones, right? He's now gonna have to transfer as well a couple of those workers to wipe the third base. But really, like, the main cost for him has been a hatchery and a drone that, like, you know, was consumed, I guess, to build that hatchery. Whereas for Max Specs, he had to invest a whole lot more minerals to build all of this, right? And he's obviously also had a couple of probes out of the map that are gonna make this a whole lot harder. Now he's gonna continue onwards though with a couple more structures. There's that Stargate. Okay, nice Evo chamber block right there by Cyril. There's a Roach Warren right now coming up. There's an Oracle. Okay. I feel like that Oracle should have already been going out for a little while though.
Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned. You have been slain. An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
Defend yourself. Do not let your pride blind you.
Shut down. An ally has been slain.
I will show you the
An
battle.
enemy has been slain. You have slain an enemy. Double kill. Double kill.
Mind the trap.
An ally has been slain.
Not so close.
Killing spree. An ally has been slain. Killing spree. An ally has been slain. Shut down. Killing spree. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. Rampage. Shut down. Killing spree. An ally has been slain.
Let your pride blind.
Shut down. Double kill.
Doubt is the greatest enemy.
An ally has been slain. Shut down.
Await victory.
Double kill. Your turret has been destroyed. Enemy double kill. An ally has been slain.
Fall before strength.
Your turret has been destroyed. Killing spree. An enemy has been slain.
Anger is motivation.
Shut down.
This will be a
Shut down. You have been slain. Double kill.
The focused mind can pierce through stone. A master
Has been slain.
true master, isn't it?
Shut down. Enemy double kill. Ace.
Do not let your
Your turret has been destroyed. An ally has been slain. You have been slain. Slain. An ally has been slain.
it really needs
Your turret has been destroyed. Shut down.
Let us
Shut down. An ally has been slain.
if you miss it, I will show you the path.
An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill. Your turret has been destroyed. Enemy killing spree. An enemy is unstoppable. Your turret has been destroyed. Your inhibitor has been destroyed. defeat.
I feel like the Stargate was late and so is that Oracle. Normally the first Oracle arrives at this point on the other side of the map. And Max Pack is only like halfway done at this point with that unit. So how exactly is this going to work out now? This would be great against someone who's not very good at the game, but I'm not entirely convinced that it's going to work out against Serral. Serral at this point not really got a very strong eco at all, but he's catching a few more. Got one more of those adepts. There's a Void Ray as a follow-up too. Obviously he can just transition into a macro game if he wants to, right? But the fact that he decided to add on even more structures here makes me think that he wants to continue doing more damage. Okay, there's the Oracle. 2 queens, ready to intercept. Okay, 2 drones for... Oh god, yeah, that's sloppy. 2 drones right there for 1 Oracle. Definitely not worth it when you factor in the cost right there of the Stargate itself too. Zerglings do arrive on the other side of the map just to show themselves too, and Void Ray for a little bit, and growling at it very aggressively, I'm sure. Well, I don't know, can they growl? Maybe hissing. I think they can hiss. Anyways, just the final 2, if Max Pack decides to manually retarget and, I guess, waste some of the energy. But Serral is more than likely to come back here with some more corrosive piles. Yep, there we go. Void Ray also needs to get him out of there. Killing that pylon though doesn't really achieve a whole lot other than supply blocking our Danish Protoss player here. And this is one action-packed game to start things off. I'm actually liking this position for Max Pack more and more. The only problem is that he hasn't seen the Nidus network. And there's a lot of queens already. Well, one random adept scout, just shaded by this location, is going to find out that there is indeed the potential for a Nidus worm on the other side of the map. Corrosive piles once again connecting. The structures are slowly being picked off. At this point, there is quite a bit of damage output in the Zerg army. Obviously, without charge, I mean, charge is about 90% of the way done. Without it being finished, though, these zealots just get piped pretty easily. Once they connect to the actual queens right there, you can see they do pack a punch, but nice morphing right there as well with that Ravager cocoon. Okay. Every time we see one of those corrosive balls, it's gonna be the first worm inside of my But every time we see one of those corrosive balls landing on the structures, Max Pack is lower and lower on energy. Alright, so eventually I think this will be broken, and props to Serral for actually keeping his head very cool, it seems, throughout this very cheesy beginning of the match. Zergling on the other side of the map, meant as a scout, but also as something that grants a vision for the Zerg player to put down that Nidus worm. I mean, there is one hero zealot ready to start working on this, I suppose, but there's already a lot of units inside the worm as well. Queens were put in first, so they're also the units that pop out first. I like how Serral plays this as if he plays against this like all day, every day. He's like, yeah, just another day at the office. I know exactly what it is I need to do. I'll just like long distance my units towards the other side of the third base, and then eventually I should be able to break through all of this. His economy though is not really that hot, right? Even though he's not going for a third hedge. Serral only really has drones right now to mine 2 bases. The same can be said for Max Pack. The problem is though, yeah, look, already we are now nearly 9 minutes into this game, and Max Pack is running out of money inside of the main base. He needs to start transferring drones towards a fresh mineral line very soon, but at this point there's creep in a couple of different locations, and Serral has obviously got a ton of units that he's ready to tunnel towards the other side of the map as well. There are some zealots over here, over at what is normally the 4th or the 5th base of the Zerg. So if Serral decides to send everything across the map, including the queens, I think these zealots can actually kill a base very easily. Serral hasn't actually seen this base over here yet, but he has seen that it's, he has seen obviously that the units were working on the Nidus worm in that location. Okay, only 2 Void Rays. There's 4 more a little bit further out. About 5 zealots ready to engage right over here. Queens are going to start, I guess, slow pushing in that direction. That's one way to do a queen march. High-level StarCraft is so sick, man. You're so different than what we normally see. I'm actually a local circuit for Serral here as far as like those zealots go. If you could clean up those zealots easy peasy, this can do a lot of damage. Max Pack being extremely patient. Okay, there we go. I think these are going to go to the natural, and then these are going to go over towards the third base. The Zerg is going to need a bunch of units over here. I think his best bet may very well be, yeah, to retreat with at least some of his army. Okay, drones are being picked off. All these 3 workers so far, by the way. Yeah, a couple of units popped out of the Nidus worm defensively as well. At the same time, there was some vision over inside of the main base. I thought maybe you wanted to go for a worm over there too. I think that is the ultimate plan, but getting into the main is kind of tricky. Unless the zealot is sleeping on the job over here. You need to be over there, buddy. Or you, like you can choose. It's not really the correct spot. Anyways, Serral knows it though. If he manages to kill the third base off the Protoss player, he's ultimately going to run out of money. There's only so many resources remaining in the 2 bases that Protoss has got secured. And once those minerals have run out, it's essentially game over, right? So if Serral can kill this base, since he has his own third, he should be more than okay. That being said, there's once again a few zealots on the other side of the map. The reinforcing roaches are going to be able to get rid of that. There is a shield battery overcharge right there in the back of the third base, but I've got a feeling, I'm looking at the amount of stuff that's available right now, I've got a feeling that there is way too much Zerg at this point. Creep right now is going to cover both third base locations as well for the Protoss, so he's going to need some form of detection in order to clear all of this out. The Oracle ended up going down some time ago, obviously, and, well, there's an observer out, but okay, it's all the way over here, actually. Maybe he can kill some of the stuff right here on the right side. There is one probe going over towards the bottom right corner. Looks like a Queen Road Ravager army was thinking about going for the natural for a second, but not quite going for one, okay. There's the Disruptor transition as well. A Proxy Nexus in the bottom right. Really? I think that Serral, or sorry, Max Pack right now is hoping that Serral is going to go for like a full headbutt in the natural, and then maybe like the Disruptors can get a good hit in. He kind of needs one. This could be one. It's not bad. Not a bad start at all. Yeah, if this would be like the entire Zerg army over here trying to headbutt and trying to force the ending of this game, a recall with probes towards the bottom right, I mean, it's definitely possible. Alright. Void Rays have joined forces right now with another flying unit. This one was produced out of the Robo.
Don't you trust me?
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn. Enemy double kill. An enemy has been slain. Minions have spawned. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
My supplement.
Playtime's over.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
They're mine now.
An enemy has been slain.
No one will stand in my way.
An enemy has been slain. Rampage. Double kill. An ally has been slain.
This is my 357 caliber handgun.
Killing spree.
They've exhausted their
Double kill.
Playtime's over.
Dominating.
Real.
Unstoppable.
They're
Dominating.
mine now.
Shut down. Godlike. Your team has destroyed a turret. Legendary. An enemy has been slain.
No one will stand in my way.
An enemy has been slain. Executed. Double kill. Enemy rampage. Turret plating will will soon fall. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Legendary. You have been slain. An enemy has been slain. Ace. Shut down. Shut down.
You're mine now.
Enemy killing spree. Shut down. You have slain an enemy. An enemy has been slain.
Let's have some
An ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed.
playtime's over.
An enemy has been slain. destroyed a turret. You have been slain.
No one will stand in my way.
An ally has been slain. You have slain an enemy. Your inhibitor has been destroyed. Shut down. Shut down.
No one will stand in my way.
An ally has been slain.
They're mine.
Rampage. Your turret has been destroyed.
Playtime's over. It's too late for mercy.
Ally has been slain. Enemy killing spree. An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill. Your inhibitor has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed. Your turret has been destroyed.
Facility, and they've cleared out at least a few of the creep tumors. One of them, though, has been left for now. I mean, you need to clear that one as well, MaxSpecs. Without it, you're not gonna be able to grab a third here anytime soon. I guess you've already grabbed one on the other side of the map. What a game to start things up with, though. By the way, in the meantime, apparently Serral has stepped up all the way towards a hive, so he's already anticipated, I guess. There's a Dark Templar, by the way, too. He's already anticipated the transition right here towards those disruptors. Abductions here are going to be very good. Not a lot of detection available, and there we go, finally. Protoss player is getting some real work done. 12 drones right here killed by that, I think, one Dark Templar, although it may have been something else, okay? Decent disruptor hit. 14 drones in total, though, is not bad whatsoever. A little bit of long distance mining. Nexus acquired in the middle of the map. Nexus in the bottom right corner has finished up. There's also the fleet beacon right now as a follow-up. Okay. Is this game going to stabilize and do a Skytles versus, like, ground Zerg army? Is that what we're doing? Because there's double Hydra then coming up right now for Serral. These Void Rays don't mess around. Yeah, okay, there's a Parasitic Bomb. Ooh, okay, good splits as well by Serral. Parasitic Bomb, though, not reacted to at all by MaxSpecs initially, so most of these Protoss units just do a huge amount of damage, although so did that Zerg army. Serral barely messing up the split. Looks like there was a recall towards the Nexus in the bottom right, and this has not been spotted yet by the finisher. So Serral at this point thinks that this is just the third base, maybe acquired somewhere on the side of the Protoss, and he's right about that, but there's an additional base in the bottom right. If he doesn't find out about this one, now it's Tempest as a follow-up, this could actually become a disaster for him, because this could be a complete misread. Yeah, Serral, though, he's realizing that something is a little off. Like, the way in which the Protoss is maneuvering, he knows that there's a base somewhere. It should be in the center, but he found the one in the bottom right. Okay, this is actually huge. Obviously, Protoss can probably hang on for a little while longer. It's not like Zerg is that like big of a mobile army either. Hydras, though, are starting to join the fray. This is giving the Protoss some time, though. I think that for the foreseeable future, Zerg is going to be busy trying to clear the base in the bottom right, and eventually it'll likely go down. But this is going to give Protoss a lot of time to go into, for example, the Templar Archives, maybe a newly acquired fourth base right over there. I don't think it's a bad idea. Going into some High Templar, maybe getting a couple carriers out on the board, or while that Zerg army is, distracted in the bottom right, these slow Hydras are going to take a while to get back home. Go for a counterattack with the Void Race. Makes a lot of sense. Okay, there we go. Lasers! Queens do have a lot of energy, though. There's a lot more Queens on back of this, too. Is there enough? I think there is. Yeah, the Queen army has arrived. Pretty much every single one of them has 1 or 2 transfuses available. Roaches, by the way, left behind in the bottom right, cleared the job. The rest of that Zerg army started. Disruptor over there did connect with some of the Queens, but the Queens have enough energy to transfuse each other as well, even after keeping that base alive. And while that was a really cool move there for MaxSpecs, and definitely a way to get back into this, Serral managed to deflect it as well. Serral's like one of those like movie ninjas, you know, like one of the trainers that is like, you know, trying to teach one of the pupils how to do it. And, you know, the opponent is just throwing punches, but Serral's just deflecting all of it. Even though there may have been some tricky moves here that he may have not seen before. Pretty sure. Oh, there we go. That was good. That was really good. You did see the feedback right there on one of the Vipers. Is there enough right now for Protoss to go through this? I don't think so. No, I think that this base is pretty much dead. 13 Protoss have already gone down in the process, by the way. Not to be underestimated. There's a Lurker down here as a follow-up too, and now the Nexus itself is being targeted. There's also a little bit of a Roach Squad apparently over at that newly acquired base. So at the very least, MaxSpecs does have a place to transfer the leftover probes too, but if you look at the supply count right now, it's starting to become just a numbers game. 172 versus 89 supply in total for Protoss. Serral, somehow, some way, managed to wiggle his way out of this very strange early game. MaxSpecs kind of relies on Chaos, right? Like, that's what he does extremely well. So he creates very strange scenarios in many of his games, and then he just feels more comfortable playing those scenarios out. But so far, it seems like Serral's, you know, totally fine with it. He's like, yeah, no, that's okay. So we do, by the way, have finally the transition right now towards Storm coming up as well. I kind of like it, so that means that the High Templar are just here to feed back Vipers. Yeah, gives the Disruptors a chance as well to get some work done. Problem is, again, there's not actually that much of an army here for Protoss. So even though, yeah, we see nice spell casting over here and some work being done, I like the addition of a few more Zerglings. Gonna soak up a few of those Tempest hits, and obviously they can only fire every once in a while unless MaxSpecs, you know, manages to get to target fire with every single one of those shots. Slowly but surely, Protoss right now is bleeding out. I feel like I've been saying it for the better part of 5 minutes. And I feel like that is what's been happening for the better part of 5 minutes. MaxSpecs is still in this game. I mean, you know, we're getting to the point where Serral's trickling its supply. Okay, not quite, but, you know, we're heading in that direction. Main base, completely bare of minerals. Natural Expo, it's got a few hundred minerals right here in total remaining. He needs to get a new base up. He's long distance mining right now. Serral has already had the economical advantage as well, but there have been some Dark Templar and some Zealot run-bys and stuff here and there. They have also not really dealt that much damage. Here we go. Game number 1 goes in favor of the finisher. Now, by the way, some sad news if you're a MaxSpecs fan, and that does include myself as well. MaxSpecs announced yesterday that he's not going to be joining the World Championships over in IEM Katowice next month. So the way that this tournament works is that throughout the year, players play in a lot of different tournaments, and all of the different tournaments, they reward you with points. And the players with the most amount of points from the entire world, they get invited into the biggest tournament of the year to not just play for $500,000 of total prize money, which is insane, but also the title of World Champion of StarCraft 2. So for example, last year we had Raynor winning, and Raynor of course is now considered to be a World Champion. MaxSpecs did very well in 2021, and therefore he was invited to play in IEM Katowice, which is awesome. The thing is, apparently he declined the invitation, and now Lembo is going to be going in his stead, which is awesome for Lembo, of course. Lembo was actually battling against Showtime for some time as well. Turns out all of that was apparently irrelevant. Anyways, we know that MaxSpecs is a very private person, so he hasn't actually shown his face anywhere. He doesn't really do tournament interviews or anything along those lines either. He's a very private person, so obviously he's well entitled to his privacy. We know that like IEM Katowice, if everything goes according to plan, is going to be an offline tournament, so the players are actually going to be like physically in the building. So maybe that's the reason why MaxSpecs doesn't want to be there, or maybe his parents don't want him to, or whatever, right? There could be many reasons, but personally I am a little bit disappointed by it because I would love to see how well he does. I think he can actually, yeah, he can definitely make it to a round of 8. And at the very least, we'll have a little bit of comparison to like next year, right? But apparently MaxSpecs has decided to, not participate, which is a bit sad. Now, because of that, and because of the way that he's been very private over the years, there have been a lot of conspiracy theories. The most recent one that I personally am quite a big fan of, even though I don't think it's true whatsoever, is that MaxSpecs is actually a Danish prince. He's actually Danish royalty because apparently there is a prince that is like born in the same month as he is, who's also 16 years old. And yeah, maybe. At this point, I have absolutely no clue. But yeah, I do think it's it kind of sucks that he decided to decline the event. Although it's probably something a little bit less exciting than him actually being royalty. Maybe next year. Who knows? Either way, it's going to be a Twilight Council opener right here for MaxSpecs this time around. You already did force the third base to be taken first here for Serral. Serral, of course, is one of the favorites going into IEM Katowice. Serral's main weakness, though, is Zerg versus Zerg. As you can see, his ZVP is very strong. His Zerg versus Terran is also extremely good. Not that his Zerg versus Zerg is bad whatsoever, but I think if Serral's going to be eliminated, it is likely that it's going to be off of the back of, you know, someone playing with Zerg against him. That being said, there have been many tournaments in the past as well where Serral just managed to dodge all of the Zerg players entirely, and if he only has to play ZVT and ZVP, there's a very good chance that he will be the next World Champion. Anyways, currently, if I were to be a betting man, which I'm not my money would be on Maru. Maru's just looking absolutely on point in all matchups right now. Best player in the world in my mind for sure. But obviously that title changes all the time. Anyways, we've got ourselves a Glaives opener right here for Max Specs. So obviously when you go for that sort of build, I do like that you force the Zerg to take the third base first, because the creep spread is going to be a little bit messed up, and in general the entire build is going to be a little different. Okay, killing the... Ooh, no, not killing the Scouting Zergling. There's going to be a very quick third Nexus on the back of this. Roach Warren, though, already about a third of the way done. I think that's about 345 or so on that Roach Warren. A little bit earlier than that. Second gas also coming up right now. So for the most part, it's been drones here, but I do think that Serral's likely going to follow this up with some units here very soon. The thing is, he hasn't seen a Stargate unit yet, so the first Stargate unit should have already showed itself. And despite the fact that Zerg at this point doesn't know exactly what it is they're going up against, there's really in the current meta of StarCraft only a handful of options that are actually good. One of them being just a whole bunch of Adept with the Resonating Glaives upgrade, which is the attack speed buff. And yeah, it's one of the few likely options. Obviously, you can still use some extra Zerglings here as well to like just poke and prod at Nexus. He's been hiding a unit as well, though. Yeah, only just now is when the Overlord sees a couple more units over here and additional warpins are spotted over at the third. Serral, though, already pulled out a couple additional roaches here. Yeah, he decides to even, this is how comfortable he feels, he decides to even go into a lair right now. He already added on spores here, too. That's probably just in case it would have been a Stargate opener. Queens are at the front. Zerglings in the back. Yeah. This is one of the reasons why the Stargate openers are so prominent, though. Against the absolute best Zerg players, these openers just don't work. Like, again, I know I joke about myself all the time, but, like, seriously, I lose to these Adept builds all the time. Also, partially because nobody really plays them, so I don't really get a whole lot of practice against them, but I did lose against one yesterday, actually. Anyways, the Queen's already going in for a counter attack. They have not been spotted whatsoever. Adept of the Watchtower will be killed as well. Maybe these Adepts over here can get something done, okay? Max Specs does decide to commit with those. 6 Queens on the other side of the map just waiting for the rest of the Zerg army to arrive. They're like, guys, hello. You put Chamber Block over here on the left side of the main base. Adepts are likely going to get them out of there. Actually, keeping these on this side of the map is really good. Yeah, I like this move a lot. Okay, so this is now a little bit awkward, though. Yeah, he's just kind of got the Queens on the other side of the map. As long as the Adepts are out here, okay, now that is a good surround by Serral. Serral can't really go out, is what I was trying to say. So far, has he lost any guns? 0. Okay, well, he uses one right now. The one that was left over in the gas. Yeah, this is very solid defense. The only problem, though, is that Serral like, has cut a lot of workers in the meantime. There's a Dark Shrine on the back of this as well here from Max Specs. Okay, one Adept over at the start. Look at the worker count, though. 35 versus 55. If Max can hold on to his base, that would be amazing for him. But even losing it, I don't think it's the end of the world right here. It wouldn't be great, but yeah, it is going to go down.
Minions have spawned.
Very regal. Couple of Adept right there. Also not going to happen. So what do we do now? Additional Adepts being warped in. Max gonna make this into a 2-base holding right now. I almost feel like that's a bit too predictable. Going into the Baneling's Nest makes sense here for Serral. Still that way, not Adept many workers here. He's just gonna reacquire the third Nexus, which I think is probably the best move. You obviously can still pump out more units, acquire more energy inside of those sentries as well, and then go for a push in a little bit. Although this is already 3 Immortals. 3 Immortals is amazing if you're fighting against Roaches and Ravagers. They can make very short work with that sort of army. The problem is, right, when you're mostly Adept focused, Adepts will get absolutely shredded by Banelings. Like, Roaches, Zerglings, Ravagers are already good against it. If you add Banelings into the mix, it is gonna just shut it down entirely. Creep spread also looking phenomenal right here for the finisher, so. Yeah, without an Observer, I don't think he can really do a whole lot. Serral has seen the movement of some of his army. He now spots the reconstruction of the third. Dark Templar over there get killed. Adepts over here also do get caught. So this is now slowly becoming a bit of a force all in right here for Max Specs, though. I actually wouldn't mind it if he just kills a bunch of creep tumors and then goes home. Just forcing out some army here. Yeah, maybe a couple force fields, but I think going home and just going into these ruptures is not a terrible suggestion. I'm just a little concerned that we're going to just see this absolute huge connection by the Zerg player. Okay, good throws about there. And like the entire Purple's army just gets popped, you know what I mean? Okay, a couple Stalkers added into the mix as well. Max Specs does still have the economical advantage. Okay, here we go. This is what I was worried about. No, okay, the Baneling's not getting the best connections in just yet. Okay, good pick up micro there as well by Max Specs, but I just don't think there's enough Purples here on the ground. Yeah, that third Nexus, I mean, yeah, sure, you have more workers, but that third Nexus is only just now finished, so he's only really just getting info from it. Adepts did channel over towards the third base. Serral doing several things. Creep spread now pretty much touching the third, so this means the Queens can join in super easily if they want to. I feel like if there's ever a battle for the Queens to move forward, right now is the one. I guess without splash damage, without any disruptors here in the mix just yet. Forcing the battery overcharge, not a terrible idea. But without any disruptors here in the mix just yet, there is one just about to pop. We may have even got some energy right here from Contamination from that Overseer. Anyways, without any disruptors, I don't really see this army doing that well. Good juggling though on those Immortals here for some time already. Okay, back to disruptor. Very good hit. Well, that disruptor, nicely done. But it looks to me like we're going to see the death of the second third Nexus. There are a couple of Adepts over inside the main base, but I don't think they can really make up for 20 probes being killed. Serral playing some aggressive games, huh? Not afraid to take games from distance, but well, that's one way. He's almost BM. You suck so much, you can't even kill my base, I'll do it myself with Queens.
Stay alert.
No, but seriously, this is a similar situation as what we had in the previous game. We're 11 minutes into it, and Max Specs is stuck on 2 bases. The same situation being that Purples is once again running out of money, so despite the fact that he still has 41 probes, he doesn't really have any good locations for those probes to mine, other than the leftover minerals in the main and that, so I guess we're going to try and reacquire the third base for the third time. Creep Tumor, though, is going to soon spread free within the radius, okay, I'm going to say, of that base. Disruptor. Supposed to be picked up. Another Disruptor. Hoping for the best. Like, Queens are going to start hunting down the prison itself. Serral's putting some creep towards the top section of the map, too. There's already Lings and Banes morphing in on the other potential third base. Okay, not getting it. Nice little forward there by the Danish Purples. Denmark is so close as well to Poland, right? I don't know exactly what kind of bits it is, but anyway, she could pretty much drive here. It's not that close. But you could probably drive here within 12 hours. Probably. Depends on when the Royal Palace look at this, though. Yeah, no, it's not happening. Dude, it's probably just something mundane. As in, like, his parents don't want to do. Just fair enough. Anyways, game number 3. It's taking us to a Blackbird. Serral so far, more than comfortable playing yeah, just a very aggressive style as well. I feel like for some time Serral was extremely good at playing the standard game, right? But whenever a game was sort of thrown off of the standard, he didn't really escalate. But these games have been everything but standard, and Serral has been, yeah, super cool for both teams. Not really unsure about anything. Once again, sending a drone early enough, going into the 17 supply count, and we'll be running down the third base first. Again, this is something that the top level Zerg players don't really struggle with. You might propose to like send that probe early, just to force the Zerg to go for the third base first. It's a little move. Highly recommend you do it in your own games. Basically, to send the probe early, and you try to, yeah, be as annoying as possible. Alright. Now, this is a map where I've casted quite a few Max games, and I think every single time I've casted on this map against Zerg, he has always gone double Stargate Void Break. So I'm expecting a relatively normal beginning here in this game. Normal being Cybercore right now at 20 supply after a 20 supply Nexus. Then we're going to see a Stargate as soon as the Cybercore is, or the Cybercore has before. Sure, as soon as the Cybercore is done. Whereas on the other side of the map, we'll likely see Serral just adding on a couple of things here in a bit. We'll go for a round of runs, but we'll probably just be pumping out as many runs as possible. So the reason, by the way, why games have been a little bit crazy is because of the fact that MaxBack has been playing them like that. It's not that Serral has started off this game or these games thinking, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a 94 and 17 to watch the other side. That was a reaction from him against that specific opener for MaxBack. So if Serral is left to his own devices, I think we can expect everything normal from him. All the runs out of gas at 100. Perfectly at 0 right now, just getting enough gas to get a metabolic boost, and there you can the other side of Nexus. Normally what you do is you go warp gates first, and then right around 350 or so, we'll see a third Nexus going down, escorted by a Void Ray. Maybe an Oracle as a follow-up, and then usually into the +1 in the second start. The +1 for the fly unit stage. Serral in the meantime, going for his own third queen. Got a couple Zerglings over here. One queen in the main base. This always scares me a little bit whenever I play my own games. We should never know where those depths are going to go. Right now the main base is looking a little bit exposed. So obviously one lean speed is done, so Zerglings are going to be able to push towards the main base pretty easily. We're going to put a Creep Tumor down right over here at the very edge. Even the Zerglings stepping ever so slightly further forward. Even a depth decided to be adventurous. The Creep Tumor should see. It's all the little moves, right? It's not very relevant over here, but it's all these mechanical movements that these highly different players are very good at. You can make little moves like stepping through Zerglings to check the potential of depth, or Creep Tumor a lot of full potential. Anyways, there's the Void Ray. There's the Oracle with a follow-up too. And I think we're going to have a 350 Nexus. Well, let's get the mineral thing. 351. Wow, MaxBax messed up his build order, confirmed 1 second late. Probably because his probe actually didn't return minerals. By the way, in case you're wondering, yes, those build orders are literally that tight. You can pretty much put like a ruler right next to every single one of those build orders and they'll be pretty much identical. Not just as far as like timings go and different units and different structures, but also like positioning of other structures and everything, especially with Protoss. Is Oracle going in here as well? Void Ray so far getting 4 kills, not bad whatsoever. Oracle got 1 kill as well. There's +1. There's the second Stargate. I swear I haven't seen this game. Zergling did already run up that ramp if I'm not mistaken, so Serral, yeah, a little bit of blood over here. He's already spotted that the Cybernetic Explorer is once again spinning, so that's a big indication that he's going to go up against the player who's upgrading air units. I still feel like that's something that should be faked. Zerglings will pretty much always run on top of that ramp at the correct moment. I feel like Protoss just should dedicate some minerals and gas and just start up that +1 for a little bit and then cancel it. Because Serral right now is going to make everything about, you know, countering Stargating, right? Anyways, we haven't really seen that all too much yet, but I feel like it is an upgrade that can be fake. The Zerg is like, this is where they like branch off into one very specific direction, right? Like if you think of like the Zerg build order as like a tree, right? There's like the Stargate branch, there's the Twilight branch, there's the Robo branch. At this point, Serral is 100% countering the Stargate branch. It would be kind of cool to see that upgrade fake from time to time. Maybe it's already been happening after this mistake, but Robo stood here, likely just for Prism and some observers. You don't usually go into the +1 and then transition out of this. Serral going into a melee upgrade. Whenever I've seen Serral play against Stargate recently, he's been going into Spire pretty quickly too. There are a few players that go straight into Spire to get some units out and stuff. To mostly harass the opponent. And I think with +1 melee, yeah, there it is. Spire comes up. But +1 melee, I think that's a big indication that he wants to go ahead and go for some Lings and Banes eventually on the other side of the map. So that very harassment heavy style while he's building up to like 80 drones to be +1. Right there. Pretty much it. Gold base coming out though from MaxBax. There's the Fleet Beacon, by the way. I like the Adept on the other side of that little wall. Kind of cool. Yeah. So they're defending at home, their own gold base, now they're harassing the gold base of the Zerg. Triple Stargate here from MaxBax. Okay. Goes straight into the carriers. 7 minutes in. We're on to 4 Stargates here. Or sorry, 4 Nexi here with golden base. +1 is done. And we have 3 carriers just about to be ready. Plus a Robo Bay too. That is pretty aggressive. Okay, so there's the 10 Mutas. Now Mutas absolutely suck at fighting units one-on-one. But the reason why Serral usually makes them is just to harass the Protoss base. This is obviously something that MaxBax is well aware of. So he should, yeah, there we go. He should get some defense ready. Even though I don't think he spotted the Spire. He hasn't. He has already gone for a Photon Cannon over here in the main base. Photon Cannon over the 4th base. Shield battery, Photon Cannon over here. There's Photon Cannon in the net. I like it. But the natural one is maybe a little bit late. I think the Observer may have just gotten a glimpse as well of those Mutalisks. And if they haven't, I think the Oracle may have. Either way, here we go. How good is that crisis management for MaxBax going to be? 8-minute Mama ship, by the way. Oh, good micro right there by Serral. He will kill a Void Ray if he gets it. Second Void Ray going down as well. Third Void Ray. Okay, 3 Void Rays so far. Majority of the Mutas live. And 3 Void Rays for 3 Mutas is obviously an amazing trade right here for the Zerg. Couple of roaches going around the back. +1 melee, by the way, is done right now for the Zerglings. Probe here ready to build a 5th Nexus, but that one's not going to happen just yet. Only a handful of workers here. The thing is, this is mostly just a stepping stone, right? To keep the rest of that Zerg army, or sorry, the Protoss army busy. Zerg right now going into a Greater Spire, going into Infestors, going into Vipers. He's building everything else. He's going to start up that Sport Ball for us soon as well, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. All of that harassment happened while the Mama ship, the Queen ship, was apparently building. They did take forever to come out. Okay, second Spire coming up. Few Corruptors are being built. And I've got a feeling that soon we're going to be seeing a very slow Zerg army. Even though we will have a mobile squad as well. So some Mutas, some Lings, maybe a few Roaches. The majority of the armies is going to be very, very slow. So there we go, yeah. Sport Crawler row number 1. Sport Crawler row number 2. We'll probably see a bunch over here, maybe a couple over here. We can expect the entire map to be covered with sport crawlers. The main goal right now for Serral is to make about 100 of those, or at least 50. That being said, Max knows what he's going up against, and he knows that this is going to be a very delicate time here for the Zerg. We're like, sure, he's got most of the pieces in place, but not everything is finished yet. Okay, Mega Alignment activated on the Void Race. They're going to make their lasers extra thick. Okay, nice targeting as well, by the way, with the carriers right here, getting rid of at least a couple of those units. You see Microbial Shrouds being used right here, and the Queens actually stay alive for such a long time. One Disruptor randomly wandering forward, very sloppy right there by the Protoss. At the same time, no charge done yet. Okay, the Zealots once again trying to get some work done, but second time this series, you see a couple of, relatively randomly timed Zealots trying to get some damage in, and not really getting any of it. But you notice this is a super scrappy army here. It looks like Serral did manage to just barely hold on. In the meantime, by the way, the Heroes are still on the other side of the map. My god, charge finished up in 5 seconds. Zealots without charge really kind of suck, don't they? There you go. All of a sudden, they found the leg enhancements up, right? Okay. That was a very delicate moment, though, for the Zerg. It's like, you've got all of the moving pieces, but none of them are really done just yet. And the first thing that's hold on so smoothly. Then again, it's Serral. The big move right there was morphing the sport crawler, removing the sport crawler from the high ground to the low ground. They would go the high ground, Serral tried to hold on there. I think they're doing GG. Serral doing Serral things.
An ally has been slain.
Now, most Zerg players out there don't really like playing against Skytools all too much because inevitably you make a mistake and then you just gotta die. Serral is one of the few players who's more capable of playing a cost-efficient style against that Zerg, or against the Protoss army with the Zerg. So you can see right now, resources lost is actually in the Zerg's favor. In pretty much every matchup, it's the other way around. Hello. Okay, in every other matchup, it's the other way around. Where Zerg loses more money than
An ally has
the
been
opponent.
slain.
But Serral's capable of doing it, in his favor. And it's because of those sport crawlers primarily as well, but also just really good spell counter. Like this, for example, doesn't cost Zerg anything. Assuming he keeps the transfuses going, assuming he keeps the Queens alive. And that's like, what, 6 Zealots right there for 6 rounds? Not value at all. I mean, it's okay in the current moment, but it does take the timer ever so slightly further in favor of the Zerg. There's an additional 8 sport coming up. Judah, by the way, still sleeping on the drop. Prison is still available. Apparently he doesn't care. Probably good about it. Probably simply before he died. Mama Ship obviously does have the offensive recall ability. Or as Zerg players like to call it, recall. Do it, yeah. He's bringing them inside of the main base. Now this I do like. A couple of sport crawlers were built over here as well, specifically for this moment. There's a Microbial Shroud coming down. Void Rays were already moving in this direction too, so I guess Serral was anticipating his move. Parasitic Bomb, Microbial Shrouds, couple of Fungal Growth, Sport Crawlers, transfusing. This is a super high APM army here by the Zerg player, but so far he's managing. At the same time though, the Zealots are dealing damage and they finally managed to get some work done. But, Mama Ship goes down at the last possible second too. Yeah, this fight in the main base was actually very, very good for the Zerg. If you look right now at the resources lost, here's the difference, man. Only 50, wait, was only 50 gas worth of Zerg lost there? Wasn't he at 2750 when I looked at the screen earlier, or was it 2450? I'm not exactly sure. What I do know though is that Protoss lost way more there than the Zerg did. And those are the types of armies that pretty much every mortal sucks to control. That's why he built the spores in the main base though. Once again, if these spores weren't here, that army would have killed the Zerg. Alright. So what is Serral gonna do? Is he gonna attack? Yeah, he's gonna attack with like Zerglings and Banelings, maybe some Roaches, maybe some leftover mutants, but other than that, he doesn't care. He is super content just taking his side of the map, mining it out entirely. And then, if both players have mined 50% of the map entirely, he'll eventually win because of his cost-efficient trading. So,
There's always a
since Zerg doesn't really have the best anti-air in the book, you kind of have to like rely on those sport crawlers. And yeah, it's like usually let me put it like this: if these Woodward go across the map, it's usually a one-way trade. They usually don't come home. So because of that, Zerg doesn't really want to move out without creep underneath, and the sport crawlers close by. So usually in these sort of scenarios, we're just gonna see the Zerg players chilling and trying to push ahead. This is, in my opinion, the current worst thing about professional StarCraft 2, and why I made that list of balance changes a couple weeks ago, or what I think would be a bunch of good changes to help prevent the stalemate. Because like Protoss doesn't really want to fight without their static defense, and Zerg doesn't really want to fight without their static defense, right? And yeah, it's it's just a shitty situation for everyone. Now we are on Blackburn. Blackburn obviously has that 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock base that are contested, so I think we're going to see a battle for those going forward, but for the time being, I think we're mostly just going to see the players tiptoeing around each other. Although every time you see an abduction like that, yeah, that's good for the Zerg. Spectre's lens coming up as well from Serral, so he's going to be able to transition towards more Infestors. Does the Infestor upgrade, so they spawn with enough energy to immediately throw a fungal growth. Usually only helpful if you plan on making more than like 3 or 4 Infestors. Big fungals though, very big fungals. And there's another one. A couple of High Templar over here at the bottom. Disruptor goes down, another Disruptor I think will be picked off here when Disruptors come in. There's a carrier. It's the little things, man. It's the little things. There's the Mama Ship. That's the bigger thing, I guess. But Serral is just completely outplaying MaxPack so far in this series. This is a good game, don't get me wrong, but Serral is head and shoulders so far above his opponent in this particular game. So, same thing as the previous one. Even though they've been very delicate and there have been a lot of moments where it could have been game over in favor of the Protoss, Serral seems to be at the right place at the right time with the correct amount of units and strike defense. Strike defense? Strategic defense, there you go. Give up a couple of the roaches right now. 12 probes, 40 probes going down in favor of them. You don't need the roaches anymore at this stage of the game. I mean, he probably doesn't want to give them away either, but replacing those with their units like Zerglings. Yes, when they are fully upgraded, they are much better. There's +2/+3 coming up. I'm assuming Adrenal Glands is going to be done as well. Yes, it is. The Mutas have apparently joined the Corruptors on the same hotkey group. Alright. Now, MaxPack does have more bases than his opponent, though. And obviously, he also has Protoss units that are very strong. But at this point, it almost feels like, and this is the situation I see the exact opposite in my own games, and I see for most of the professional Zerg season. You rely on Zerg controlling their army very well, right, as a Protoss player. It's mostly up to the Zerg player to mess this up, and if they do, you win as Protoss. And most Zerg players will mess it up inevitably. But Serral doesn't really, run that problem too often. He's just kind of like, casually controlling everything, and most of the time he does so pretty much flawlessly. There's this one really cool clip from a long time ago. I think this was a home story cup, where I think it was Todd that asked Hearthstone, "You play against Serral a lot, right?" And Hearthstone was like, "Yeah, I do." And then Todd was like, "How many points do you get if you win?" And Hearthstone was like, "I don't know." Which is a good example. It's like ladder points are obviously only one thing, but Hearthstone obviously likes to play that macro-focused style. And it's, there's no one really better at this playing, or this sort of army than Serral. Try not to be a fan. Unless you're a Protoss player, maybe. Even then, though, you gotta admire the skill. Personally, I'm just a big fan of StarCraft. I'm a little bit biased towards Zerg because that is what I play myself, but I am just a big fan of StarCraft. I think I've 10.1 over Max Nexus fast. At least finish the Nexus. I guess he's like, no, this is Zero Q2. They're not like 400 minerals remaining. It's not worth it. Nexus is worth more money than that. Anyways, he's taking 12 base, doing his own Zealot run buys right now, so apparently he's not scared of the opponent anymore. We're towards the bomb section of the map. Oh, this might be an overextension here from Zerg. I think this is almost at 8. He's like, yeah, I don't have Stag defense nearby. In the meantime, there's a Zerg army up north. Sarah's just gonna finish the base a little while later, this time around with Zerglings and a couple of roaches. Okay. 12 for Go has been acquired by the Zerg, but next week managed to take the 4 base. There's not gonna be a whole lot of damage here. That's not even really worth it. Like, even if it's worth to finish, you're probably better off. Now you almost 400 minerals. 400 minerals and mine about 600 in total. Not great. Okay. Let's force Spine Army from the top right corner is moving over towards the top section of the map. Brood Lord's more than happy to rain their little Brootlings in this direction too. Okay, good snipes right there though. Tempest getting a whole lot of work done. Four cars slowly pushing forward as the creep expands.
We've got this covered.
Banelings are now joining in his army as well. They're going to be able to get rid of the Pinal there, shutting down a lot of the static defense, and Sarah just cleaning up whatever he can. The real battle though is happening over here at the bottom. Don't get me wrong, this is still like one bad engagement from Sarah away to being a max back to victory. But I do think it's fair to say that we're mostly relying here on a Sarah mistake. That's where the game gets very hard. Like, I've seen plenty of pro mistakes, right? And like, it's easy to make mistakes. Trust me, just look at any of my ladder games. Like, even that little split over there, it's the little thing. It's the little thing. Phase over here did go down though. 9 drones in the process, water pulse still hanging out here. Gotta be so careful because the Brood Lords are showing up right now. Mama ship. Okay, there's a fall of growth. There's fall. That is where Zerg can start target firing down whatever they can. You gotta be careful about the time warp though. Okay, Mama ship does end up going down. That's another 400 gas down the drain. A couple of oracles sleeping on the job. Sarah's gonna replace a few of the brutes apparently with Ultralisk right now. Ultra's obviously a little bit more capable of going in for run buys. And this is what we're talking about. Look at this. This screen tells the whole story. The resources lost heavily in favor of the Zerg. Uncommon situation to see in Zerg versus Royals at the pro level. But yeah, definitely something that can happen. Mama ship. Oh god, no, that was another thing right there. Ay, ay, ay. Prison with 4 High Templar. One of the High Templar dropped out of it, but 3 High Templar out of prison ended up going down there in one fell swoop. Looks like Max Spec might be able to mine bottom base for a little while longer though. But there's absolutely no way of dealing damage in the top section of the map. And Sarah was, again, more than content mining his side of the map, mining his half of the map. And once the top base and the bottom base are gone, it's all about full sufficiency. Okay. Brood Lords, slowly moving forward. Let me put it like this, if Sarah manages to mine this base, game over. Okay, Ultras right now joining in the fray as well. Going in towards the left. Max Spec's right now just adding on so many Spitals units that he doesn't really have the army to like easily get rid of these Ultralisks. Yeah, like the fight rates get better if they're clumped up together, right? So you don't really want to split them. But making photon cannons against Ultralisks is also not really the ideal thing to do. Brood Lords continue harassing over here. Max Spec goes back up against the wall right now despite being maxed out on Spitals units. He has no gas, or 200 of it. Ultras right now in the top left corner. This is a huge amount of supply though for the Zerg players, keep that in mind. Yeah, I don't mind the idea of Sarah backing off right now. It's like another Void Ray ended up just YOLOing to his death. Top left the bases. As good as gone, the Max Spec is going to try and use this opportunity to move forward. Now Sport are over here once again. Big Fungal Parasitic Bomb is a follow-up. No reaction to the Parasitic Bomb so far. Fungal Rose once again coming up. Sarah is running around right now with Corruptors trying to pick off wherever he can. Good score right here though by Max Specs. Doesn't have a whole lot of splash damage though in his army in total as far as I can tell. Does he have any splash damage remaining? No, he's got nothing. GG. Sarah ends up winning 3-0 over Max Specs. We'll have to revisit this matchup in like half a year or so. See how it goes in. But at the very least, currently, Sarah seems to be quite a bit better.
An ally has been slain.
We Demacians are no easy prey.
Your turret has been destroyed. Enemy killing spree. Enemy killing spree.
A bird's eye view is the best advantage.
Valor to me.
There's always a trail. Buy me some time. What do you see up there? Now! Eyes in the sky. Flush them out. Need eyes on him.
Ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
Take this.
Shut
Sometimes I
down.
swear that bird is just showing off.
Enemy killing spree.
Go for the eyes.
has been destroyed. Defeat.
Sarah's just going to finish the base a little while later, this time around with Zerglings and a couple of roaches. Okay. 12 for Cloak, though, has been acquired by the Zerg, but Max Specs managed to take the bottom base. Now, there's not going to be a whole lot of damage over here. That's not even really worth. Like, even if it's worth to finish, you're probably better off. Now you lost 400 minerals. 400 minerals to mine about 600 in total. Not great. Okay. The Spore Spine army from the top right corner is moving over towards the top section of the map. Brute Lord's more than happy to rain their little Brutelings in this direction, too. Okay, good snipes right there, though. Tempest getting a whole lot of work done. Spore Crawlers slowly pushing forward as the creep expands. Banelings are now joining in his army as well. They're going to be able to get rid of the pylon there, shutting down a lot of the static defense, and Sarah is cleaning up whatever he can. The real battle, though, is happening over here at the bottom. Don't get me wrong, this is still like one bad engagement from Sarah away to being a Max Specs victory. But I do think it's fair to say that we're mostly relying here on the Sarah mistake. And that's where the game gets very hard. Like, I've seen plenty of Pro's mistakes, right? And like, it's easy to make mistakes. Trust me, just look at any of my other games. Look, even that little split over there. It's the little things. It's the little things. Base over here did go down, though. 9 drones in the process as well. The pros is still hanging out here. Gotta be so careful because the Brute Lords are showing up right now. Mama Ship. Okay, there's a fungal growth. Parasitic bomb. And this is where Zerg can start target firing down wherever they can. He's gotta be careful about the time warp, though. Okay, Mama Ship does end up going down. That's another 400 gas down the drain. A couple of Oracles sleeping on the job. Sarah's gonna replace a few of the Brutes apparently with Ultralisks right now. Ultra's obviously a little bit more capable of going in for run-bys. And this is what we're talking about. Look at this. This screen tells the whole story. The resources lost heavily in favor of the Zerg. Uncommon situation to see in Zerg versus Protoss at the pro level. But, yeah, definitely something that can happen. Mama Ship. Oh, no, that was another thing right there. Ay, ay, ay. Prison with 4 High Templar. One of the High Templar dropped out of it, but 3 High Templar and a Prism ended up going down there in one fell swoop. Looks like Max Specs might be able to mine the bottom base for a little while longer, though. There's absolutely no way of dealing damage in the top section of the map. And Sarah is, again, more than content mining his side of the map, mining his half of the map. And once the top base and the bottom base are gone, it's all about cost efficiency. Okay. Brute Lords, slowly moving forward. Let me put it like this, if Sarah manages to mine this base, it's game over. Okay, Ultras right now joining in the fray as well. Going in towards the left. Max Specs right now just adding on so many Skytles units that he doesn't really have the army to like easily get rid of these Ultralisks. Yeah, like the Void Rays get better if they're clumped up together, right? So you don't really want to split them. But making Photon Cannons against Ultralisks is also not really the ideal thing to do. Brute Lords continue harassing over here. Max Specs is back up against the wall right now despite being maxed out on Skytles units. He has no gas, or 200 of it. Ultras right now in the top left corner. This is a huge amount of supply though for the Zerg players, so keep that in mind. Yeah, I don't mind the idea of Sarah backing off right now. Looks like another Void Ray ended up just YOLOing to its death. Top left base is as good as gone, but Max Specs is going to try and use this opportunity to move forward. Now Spore Crawlers are over here once again. Big fungal Parasitic Bomb is a follow-up. No reaction to the Parasitic Bomb so far. Fungal Growths once again coming up. Sarah just running around right now with Corruptors trying to pick off wherever he can. Good storm right there though by Max Specs. Doesn't have a whole lot of splash damage though in his army in total as far as I can tell. Does he have any splash damage remaining? No, he's got nothing. GG. Sarah ends up winning 3-0 over Max Specs. We'll have to revisit this matchup in like half a year or so. See how it goes then. Maru versus Dark. This is one of those matchups where you can quite literally wake me up at any hour of the day and I'll try and cast it. Although I guess if you wake me up at 3 in the morning, my voice is probably going to be a little bit hoarse and I'll probably be stumbling over my words even more so than I usually already do. But seriously, this should be an absolute banger. It's time for a best of 5 series where in game number 1 we find ourselves on Blackburn. Spawning right here in the bottom left, playing with the blue Terran SCVs, we have Maru and his opponent in the bottom right with the red Zerg drones. Likewise also from South Korea, we are looking at Dark's main base. Now I've been talking about it a lot over the last couple of weeks or so. I am a huge fan of Dark's Zerg versus Terran. It's the style that I've been playing quite a bit myself, and my win-loss ratio has gotten quite a bit better, assuming my execution is decent. He's been a big fan of the Road Ravager into Hydra Lurker, into Viper Infestor, into Lingdane eventually. That sort of playstyle. I've covered this extensively over the last couple of weeks on the YouTube channel. I'll try and guide you through a little bit as well if you decide to play that style once again in this series as well. But I'm a huge fan of the way that Dark approaches this matchup currently. That being said, his opponent, okay, going for double barracks inside of the main base. Blackburn has these little jump-up pads right over here, so there's obviously also one in the back of the Zerg's main. He's probably gonna bring a couple of Reapers towards the other side of the map. Nothing all too aggressive, but still a nice start obviously. This is something that Maru likes to mix in all of the time. Speaking of which though, Maru is looking absolutely incredible right now. If he plays the way that he's playing right now, he's definitely my favorite going into the World Championships in about a month and a half or so. Honestly, over the last half year or so, he's been on point for like a decade, right? But over the last half year or so, I don't know what the man has been putting in his morning cereal, but he's looking incredible. His Terran versus Terran, it's literally at above 90% win rate at the professional level, which is insane. But his Terran versus Zerg is impeccable. His Terran versus Protoss is really good as well. He overtook Serral for the number 1 position on Liga as well with a significant amount of points. Maru right now is looking really, really good. Obviously, Serral definitely also one of the favorites going into IEM Katowice. But the thing is, Serral's Zerg versus Protoss is amazing. Serral's Zerg versus Terran is impeccable, but his Zerg versus Zerg is definitely his weakness. Whereas I really don't see Maru. Oh god, Maru. Alright, Maru, I don't really see him losing against anyone at this hour of the day, man. Like he's just, well, I guess at this hour of the day. Depends on where you live. But seriously, like, assuming a man is awake, he can probably still beat me in his sleep. Assuming a man is awake, he is ridiculously good. I'm hoping he's gonna be able to bring it home as well, win a World Championships title. It's one of those titles he's actually never won. So Maru historically has done very well inside of Korea. Definitely the most successful Korean tournament player out there. But yeah, outside of South Korea, he's never really found as much success. Obviously, IEM Katowice, the way it seems right now, it is going to be taking place over in Poland. So, yeah, things like jet lag and, you know, being forced to, like, face your opponents outside of the comfort of your own home is definitely also something you might say maybe it's going to be a little bit different. Either way, let us find out what ended up going down between these two. So we've got a little bit of shenanigans over here from Maru, forcing his opponent into that 2-base play. Not something that Dark probably minds all too much, but he does have a ton of Zerglings. I guess he plans on just going straight across the map. There's no third hatchery on the back of this, which is usually something we've already seen come up quite a few times already at this point. Yeah, I actually really like this pull right here from Maru. Just go back into the main base, lift the supply depots, and while the Zerglings are going to be a little bit annoying, there's nothing to kill for them. Command Center obviously here can fly once the orbital command is done morphing in, and all of a sudden you make all of those Zerglings. Did they already pay for themselves? I don't think so. Obviously, it's not like they're completely wasted either. It seems like they're going to be able to get rid of the Reapers here eventually. Maru's still microing his butt off. But yeah, 3 Reapers, I guess, for 7 Zerglings is not quite ideal. But obviously, Dark did be, or he did be. He did be. He was. There you go. That's the correct word. He was forced to delay his third hatch. I wouldn't have minded seeing him taking the Golden Expo, but I guess he did see the Hellion production as well, so he's probably a little bit concerned of those units shooting flames from the backside right here of the Golden Minerals. So this is a little bit safer. What do we have as a follow-up here? Just a single Evo Chamber for now. No Lair, no Roach Warren, no nothing. So I guess Dark is not going to be playing Roaches at the very least in this game for now. I mean, he could. Going for the +1 Terrapist as well. Not really see either Lair or Roach Warren or Bailing Nest at this point. Actually, we've already seen that about a minute ago. Dark just holding down the drone button for the time being. I guess Queens and drones are pretty good. There's the Bailing Nest. Okay. So he has been a huge fan of playing that Road Ravager into Lingbane into, Road Ravager into Hydro Lurker into Spellcaster into Lingbane eventually against Ghost. He has been a big fan of playing that style, but obviously in a best of 5 series, you have to mix it up. You can't really do the same thing over and over again. So I don't mind it. Maru going in with an aggressive scan. Probably wants to get that creep tumor in the back really badly. Let's hit like 4 or 5 creep tumors over here in total, which is pretty good. Third command center already done. With the way that Maru's base is laid out right now, though, it's very wide open, right? He definitely wants to complete the wall off here eventually, yeah. I think that's not a bad idea. You never know what the Zerg player is capable of. It's very difficult for the Terran player to get any sort of vision at this point. Either way, 2 mana effects with a seemingly random amount of Marines are heading on over towards the main base. Dark, though, is spreading a creep tumor around the main base as well, which I like quite a bit. It's going to be difficult for the Terran player to really get any sort of damage done. Already, an Overlord has spotted these units as well, so yeah, the Zerglings, the Queens are going to be running over this direction. And yeah, not really a whole lot of damage is done. Creep spread actually, despite that scan from earlier, is looking very healthy. Golden base already being acquired as well by the Zerg player, and despite the early game aggression here, and despite the fact that Dark didn't have to start base very quickly at all, he seems to be very content with where it's currently at. My main concern right now for the Zerg is the fact that Bailing speed is going to be very late, so the lair is going to finish up very soon, but then it's still quite a bit of time until the Bailing speed upgrade finishes up. He's even prioritizing +2 Carapace. Alright, he really needs to get Bailing speed started, but he needs 150 gas to do so. It's very difficult to actually do any damage to Terran armies, especially when they are controlled by Maru. When the fights take place on creep, and you know, your Terran opponent has Stimpack, right? Usually those upgrades need to be a little bit in line, and this is not one of those armies you're going to be able to clean up, right? I've got a feeling that the gold base is... I mean, it's going to take 1 siege tank forever. Yeah, okay. I think this makes a little bit more sense. I don't really see how you're going to break through this if you're the Zerg player here. Without Bane speed, yeah, it's just not going to happen. The Zerglings, in the meantime, are going towards the other side of the map. I like that decision making quite a bit here from Dark. Splitting off the links, some of them going after the supply depot, but the other ones are going after the SCVs there instead. And honestly, losing a... Oh, I was going to say, like, losing a base for a mineral line worth of units is obviously a good idea. Only 4 SCVs here. Eventually, the hatchery at the golden base will be picked off as well. Maru, don't get greedy. I don't think you want to get greedy. Well, I guess he's got enough med effects here to lift up everything, so it's okay. Maybe he can force a council on this base over here that's just starting up. Yeah, he's got 4 med effects here. I thought he only had 2. Totally fine. Zerglings over here staring at the Impaled Ultra. A little bit morbid. Anyways. Alright, so what are we doing right now? I feel like Dark's... Look at this. Bane speed only just now starting, really. I feel like Dark is playing extremely defensively, but when you're playing defensively like this, you really need a very solid economy and usually some quick tech as well. And Dark doesn't have that strong of an eco, but also not that, you know, strong of a tech. I mean, he's got good upgrades, so that helps. But if your main strategy is relying on a good Bailing detonation, good luck. Slow Bailings trying to get into the mineral line as well. It's not going to happen against someone with the caliber here of Maru. It's just not. Maru heavily outplaying his opponent so far here in game number 1. I'm liking this position for him quite a bit more. He might still be able to hit timing attack right now, with Bailing speed still not done. I mean, he assumes at this point that Bailing speed is done.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Why are they running? This is very exciting. Ravage. This is a fun game. Soft things. This is very exciting.
An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
I have something.
An ally has been slain.
Pulse. Ravage. Pulse. Ravage. This is a fun game. Ravage. Ravage. Why are you running?
Shut down.
Ravage. Pulse.
An ally has been slain.
Pulse.
An ally has been slain.
I hear soft things. Motivating. The ball is impatient.
Ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
This is a fun game.
An enemy has been slain.
Ravage. Time tick tick.
An enemy has been slain.
Ravage. Pulse.
Shut down.
Pulse. We go.
An ally has been slain.
The ball is impatient.
An enemy has been slain.
Ravage. 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 Pulse. Rounding. Ravage. Pulse. Protect.
An ally has been slain.
Pulse. Ravage.
Enemy killing spree.
I am a weapon.
Enemy double kill. An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
I hear soft things. Protect. Throw. Ravage. Sustain. Restrain. Protect. Ravage. Protect.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Pulse. This is a divine
Enemy rampage. Your turret has been destroyed. An ally has been slain. Shut down.
Ravage. Now for
Your
the
turret has been destroyed. Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
Ravage. 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 Pulse. Time ticks. Ravage. Pulse.
Shut down. An ally has been slain.
Meditating. Ravage. Pulse. Pulse. Ravage.
Enemy killing spree.
Ravage. The ball is impatient.
Enemy rampage. Your turret has been destroyed. Ally has been slain.
We go.
Your turret has been destroyed.
We are as one.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Pulse.
An enemy has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed. Shut down. Your inhibitor has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain.
Done already as well. It should have been. There's no way this is an attack he's going for where he thinks, okay, well, my opponent probably isn't going to be finishing it just yet. It should have already been done. Anyways, I think it will be done here before any actual engagement will take place, but Maru's still getting rid of a couple of creep tumors at the very least. Alright. For what it's worth, though, Dark does have a healthy amount of workers, and now finally they're going to be able to find a good few mineral patches as well to mine from. Once again, Terran army coming in here from the back. This time around it's 3 siege tanks rather than 1. Same concept, though. Try and just, elevator play around the site. Couple of marines over here also stim forward and got rid of a few of the creep tumors over there. I've got a feeling that the golden days will be the night for a second time. Yep. Nice work right here by Maru. Not really missing a beat. Now, this is a map where it's quite difficult for Terran to take a 4th base, it seems. So, yeah, he's going to go for a golden base. 4th CC in general, I don't know what the exact timing is supposed to be, but it feels a little bit late to me. +2/+2 I was finishing up, and it's not a triple CC all in, which is something that we do see from time to time. Maru moving forward. Zerk still maxed out, though. So despite the fact that I think Maru's playing a really good game, this is still one very good Baneling detonation away from being an absolute disaster. If you've ever seen me play Terran, you've probably seen me lose a lot of units to a couple of Banelings. It's very easily done. It's kind of funny, though. If you watch a top-level Terran player play, you're like, okay, well, Marines, they counter Banelings, right? Anyways, here we go. This is where Zerk decides to collapse on top of his army. There's also a point where the Terran player is just about to reinforce all of it. Queen's now joining in the fray as well. But Baneling's still in the back. Good target firing right there with the siege tank. Maru just still stutter stepping to the best of his abilities. And what seemed like a beautiful setup right there by Dark hit right about 5 seconds too late. If those Terran reinforcements would have shown up a little bit later, I think it would have been, oh my god, that was a lot of creep troopers as well. I think if those Terran reinforcements would have shown up just a couple of seconds later, that fight would have looked completely different. In the end, though, 212 Zerglings and 24 Banelings have gone down in this game. Lurker down comes up. Obviously, this is one of those things that Maru likes to do. He creates that tempo lead for himself, and Lurkers can really slow that down. Once Lurkers are out in the field, it's very difficult for Terran to continue pushing in the way that Maru is doing, but feels to me like Maru's already smelling blood in the water. Okay, moves like that, though, aren't particularly great. Hatchery number 3. Yep. The golden base is not gonna mind. Not anytime soon. At the same time, there is a small hit squad over here, trying to attack a newly acquired base as well from the Zerg player, but Maru on top of that one as well. My Maru casts really are quickly becoming me fanboying over Maru. It's impressive, though, that Dark is actually still in this game. I feel like he's been getting outplayed left, right, and center, but he is getting Lurkers out, and once those are out, the game actually can look completely different. Couple of Liberators, okay. Wouldn't be surprised to see a few Vipers added into the mix soon as well. Love this little move once again, though. Maru always keeps like a really large chunk of his army off creep, and he's only really baiting the units of the opponent forward with a small hit squad. So one of the classic Maru moves. Definitely something that's, something you can incorporate into your own Terran versus Zerg games as well. That was good advice most of the time, but especially against Zerg. You want to try and fight off creep all the time. Look, he's once again standing up in the center of the map, and it's just like, hey, come and attack me. I'm totally, weak. Dark, no, he has played against Maru probably hundreds of times at this point, so he knows that it's probably not something he needs to do. You know what? He's going into +3. He's going into the Lurker upgrades. These Lings and Banes are going to pack a punch. Golden base number 4 or 5? I don't know. I lost track. Yeah, will once again be the night. Soon, though, the Lurkers are going to be fully upgraded. And as you might be aware, I think, the Lurker upgrades are a little bit silly in the game. First off, they have an upgrade right here called Seismic Spines. The upgrade gives them a bunch of additional range, and then they've got adaptive talents that allows them to, reposition themselves very quickly. It's the burrow and unburrow speed improvement. Okay, well, here we go. Dark going in for a very large assault. Definitely killing one of the command centers over here, and this is a lean base squad that can pack a punch. This is a Dream of Lands done in 10 seconds as well, so these Zerglings are just about to get a 40% attack speed buff, which is absolutely huge, especially when Blessly finishes. A bunch of SCVs are going down right now, and despite the fact that Maru's plan was to try and kill his opponent, yeah, that is an SCV that has seen some stuff. It's holding up 5 minerals here as a true sulfur, okay. Oh god, a lot of siege tanks in the middle of the map as well, completely forgotten. Yeah, so despite the fact that Maru was planning on killing his Zerg opponent, the Dark managed to stay alive. Even though the creep spread isn't looking that good, his economy really hasn't been healthy either. He's got very good upgrades, and right now it seems like he's finally taking control of his side of the map. Very impressive play right here from Dark, holding on for that long. It's very easy to just crumble under pressure and engage one too many times off creep. Okay, this is where Ghost get added into the mix as well. They're actually only on a couple of command centers right now, especially for Maru's sake. He usually has like 12 command centers at this point. This is where Maru builds up the Iron Bank. There's even a technical nuke on the production tab. Okay. He's building up those additional orbital commands though, essentially just for dropping mules and just for dropping stands wherever he can. It's very nice to have, just very expensive as well. He's just invested a couple thousand resources. Where's the technical nuke gonna go? I hope it'll be used, right? We see technical nukes all the time and then, you know, they never actually fire it. It's only 100 minerals, 100 gas, so at this point it's like getting an upgrade, right? You've got quite a few resources to spare. Yeah, but ghosts are going to be absolutely critical though. So Maru actually giving up some of the units here as well, opening up some supply, replacing them with higher tier units. One of the things that I absolutely love that Maru has been doing, once again, over like the last couple of months, is start off, ooh, this is actually a pretty solid kill, going for the spawning pool. One of those structures that takes a surprisingly long time at this point in the game. But one thing that I love about Maru's play, and I've raved about this in previous casts, but one thing he's been doing in Terran vs. Zerg is he opens up with Marine Marauder meta effect, right, with some siege tank, maybe some mine support. Then he goes into ghosts, and once he has like a dozen ghosts or so, he slowly starts transitioning away from Marine Marauder, and sometimes we see him ending up with like Ghost, Thor's, Siege Tank, Hellbent. So he like starts out with a bio army, then he transitions into Ghost, and then eventually, once the Iron Bank has been built, once he's got that gold standard, I guess, of orbital commands, then we see him making that transition as well towards full-on mech. And I like it. Yeah, here's the Liberator's coming up. Look, he's not producing any Marines anymore, at least for now. He might be forced to switch back in a little bit, but I like it a lot. One of the problems with going straight into mech is that you don't have a lot of mobility and you can't really build up your economy that well. Okay, well, you probably want to pick up though. Okay, so what exactly is Dark going for? Usually, Dark transitions from here. Okay, I was going to say into Vipers. Parasite Bombs. Pew! Parasite Bomb deals 120 damage, net effects of 150 life. So that's 2 dead net effects, and with that a bunch of bio units. But what is he going to replace it with? Okay, he's still adding on some Marauders. Also a few more siege tanks though. When the Terran banger hits, right? This is one of the Terran songs from StarCraft 2. Ooh! There it is. Tactical nuke being deployed. Flying towards the other side of the map. I don't think that's where you want to burrow your lurkers, my man. I don't think that's the greatest spot. Yeah. Obviously, we see a nice little big icon on the minimap. A nice little big icon. Anyway, you get what I'm getting at. Dark doesn't see that. All Dark sees is just a red dot, assuming he can find it. One bit of advice, Alt plus F on the keyboard if you are a Zerg player. And you see Tactical Nuke coming up and you're playing with the red collars. Anyways, here we go. This is a very moment where Dark decides to once again collapse on top of the Terran army. Goes kiting back towards the safety, towards that anchor, the planetary fortress. And Dark does decide to back off, reinforcing with a ton more links. Yeah, so I wouldn't mind seeing a couple more Vipers, maybe a few Infestors in the mix as well. Tactical Nuke coming up, number 2. Anyways, I know from personal experience that if you get stuck on red and you're going up against someone who's deploying tactical nukes, it's very hard to find the red dot. There you go, very brave Ghost. Very brave Ghost. But yeah, there's no overseers. I'll move right on over in. And this is one of the locations that the Zerg player is not likely to check, although he may have already picked up a little shimmer. Oh, that's actually kind of beautiful. He's nuking the outerward base, but from the natural expo. This is not a location that's very easy to spot whatsoever. Okay. Yeah, so notice how Dark, what I'm trying to get at. Notice how Dark is playing with red in this game. If you're playing with red in your own game of StarCraft 2 as well. My god, man, look at this guy. Alt plus F on the keyboard to change your colors in game. This guy. Oh, okay, he's eventually going to be picked off, but that was the Tomb Raider himself. Okay, so you may be wondering what in the world is Dark's strategy here. Blackburn has 2 contested bases at the 12th block and the 6th block. These are shared expansions, and Dark is trying to mine both of them. If he can mine out one, he's going to be able to, yeah, just get way more income. If he can mine 2, obviously he's denying a base from his opponent as well. That's huge. Double Spire coming up, Pathogen Glance coming up as well from Dark. I just want to remind you that this is a game number 1 in a best of 5. There's the, look, there's the factories coming up. We even have a fusion core happening right now, probably just for Liberator range, but I want to believe it's for battlecruisers, even though it's not. Battlecruisers are extremely good though, if you can get there. That's the main problem with battlecruisers. Very expensive. Big Zerg army as well, top left corner. Tactical Nuke number 3 coming right up. Bill. Yeah, this is really the pinnacle of StarCraft 2 in my opinion. Serral versus Maru might be even more interesting. But, come on, these guys have a lot of history. They've been competing against each other for literally a decade. They are pushing each other to get better as well, right? Like, that's one of the things to keep in mind. Since the skill level is continuously going up, you have to stay flexible, you have to keep learning. And these guys have been learning for over a decade. Like, StarCraft 2 is almost 12 years old. And they have got like a library almost, right, of knowledge for StarCraft 2. Now, all of a sudden, though, we see 50 SCVs going down over the course of a minute or so. 66 workers here killed by Dark. Maru was back up against the wall. 28 SCVs. Well, now he's got 32 because he's got a lot of command center to be building out of. But he doesn't have a lot of money anymore. Dark is still with 6,000 resources in the bank. That being said, Maru did grab the base at the 6 o'clock. Now, there's no way he wins this, right? He did grab the base at the 6 o'clock. Dark, well, he's mining out the base at 12. He's been mining that one for a little while already. Notice how Maru is sprinkling in only a couple of SCVs at a time, though. Looks to me like he wants to go to like 150 army supply, which is not a bad idea. Anyways, Zerg is going to go after some more SCVs, and our planetary fortress looks like it will end up going down. 16 SCVs once again end up dying here. 12 o'clock base killed by 4 Marauders. They have their Stimpaks, handed to them by the Marines once upon a time. Now they still use them. Probably in the barracks locker room. I don't know where they're getting their Stimpaks from. I don't know, dude. Maru's actually completely broke. Dark, though, did just go for a very, very expensive set of engagements. That is the get out of my game fight. You can see it reflected right here, especially in the minerals of Lost. Okay, here we go once again. Dark going in for another move. This is not that good of a fight, though. Yeah, I don't really like it all too much. Maru once again kiting backwards, moving off the creep. 12 o'clock base will be the night once again, it seems. Instead, though, he's moving on over towards the bottom side of the map. Workers burrowing in that position. A scan over here will review a couple of those units. Dark's still sitting at 69 drones, so I think that's pretty nice. Looks like there was no council action on that base, but Planetary obviously also can't fly, so Maru losing a base for a base. Double siege tanks. Yeah, just one of them. Actually getting a few workers there in return, so maybe not the end of the world. Obviously, there's a lot of orbital commands, right? So despite the fact that Maru has lost a lot of his SCVs, he's slowly building them back up, and he's replaced a lot of that lost economy by just dropping a bunch of mules. The only downside with mules is that they mine so fast and they bring back so many minerals that you also mine out your expansions incredibly quickly. So Maru's gonna have to look for new resources soon enough. Okay, some abductions right here to watch the low ground. Dark getting rid of his opponent's units at the same time, though. Snipes are landing on a few of the lurkers as well as the Hydras, it seems. Dark, you need to spend your money. You've got 28 larva. Okay, just go back home and spend your money. It's a bit awkward. You should have been right next to the siege tank. Siege tanks have a minimum range. They can't fire if something's right next to them. Okay. Whoa, one of the siege tanks apparently got stuck behind the back. Obviously, at this point, Enju Bay is not as useful anymore. I guess you still need to make a turret or two. Yeah, maybe more Planetary. I can't believe Maru's still in this game. Even though I've been hyping him up for a long time. I feel like just about 5 minutes ago, I saw Dark sitting with like 10,000 resources in the bank, and Maru just spent all of his money and he wasn't even maxed out. Am I... Okay, maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but isn't that what happened? I mean, don't get me wrong, Maru had a lot of command centers, and mules are pretty good. Finally got siege tank. Yeah, I with that siege tank. It ended up going down. 12 o'clock base, or 6 o'clock base rather, being reacquired. 12 o'clock probably will be taken by the Terran player soon enough. A lot of lurkers over here, getting a lot of damage done. Nice moves here from Dark, although he needs to be very careful. Losing a couple of the Vipers as well, it seems. Ghost still available, still sniping whatever they can. Backing off towards the safety of whatever they can find. Always in the back. Always very powerful. Liberators over here as well. Okay. One of them will be abducted. Ghost over here, going in with some additional snipes too. Alright. Orbital should be able to land now since the creep has dissipated. Once again, these snipes are critical, man. Dark actually does so much, and Dark decides to GG. Hold up. I'm gonna just back up towards right over here. So this is a few seconds before Dark taps out. Was that a preemptive GG? Dark has spent his entire bank. He's got no more mineral patches to mine on his side of the map. He's extremely reliant on the 6 o'clock base. And he knows the Terran is just about to take the 12 o'clock. Maru still has a good amount of minerals over here. He's got some minerals left over at the top left-hand corner as well. I think he's right. Yeah, I do think that this is now actually a pretty significant Maru advantage. And since the Ghosts are bringing in so much efficiency, Maru managed to squeeze out a victory. So sick. Alrighty. If that is what the rest of this series is going to be like, I'll be casting for another 2 hours. But here we go. Game number 2. We are on Berlingrad. That was a bit... I feel like a scouting worker just to like finish the job and do the same thing over here would be a nice idea, but I'm sure Maru tested this. Very quick Roach Warren here from Dark. Okay, so Dark is skipping Zerking speed. Okay, he's not skipping Zerking speed. He just started it up. But he did start up a Roach Warren here at like, what, 2 minutes almost? No, about 2 minute mark. So that's ridiculously quick. Normal time for it is about 34 minutes. This is a super quick one. Reaper number 2 showing up as well. This should work out very well, right, for Zerk? He's only committed to 3 Reapers, so he's only going in for Reap once again. I love the Terran players have been doing as far as that goes recently. It seems like there's a lot of these random builds where you just like make it hard for the opponent to know what's happening. Oh, I like this too. Yeah, okay, so that's one of the reasons why I think he played it on this map. Maru providing high ground vision here so the Overlord can't hide. I like it a lot. The only problem though is he hasn't seen the main base and he hasn't seen the Roach Warren. I think he needs to dive a little bit deeper. It's been double gas mining here for a little while already. There's a lot of dead giveaways, so this is going to be a Zerk all in. But at this point, Maru is completely in the dark. Roaches are already out. 2 Ravagers are morphing in. Reapers are actually going home. They're going home right now because he knows the timing at which Link Speed finishes up. So Maru is going to sit behind his wall and cross his fingers and probably, I don't know, sip some of his tea as well. Whatever they drink over in South Korea. I don't know. Soju? No. Probably not drinking soju while playing a game. Now all of a sudden, that little pathway is wide open, yeah. Helping out the Zerk player. Normally, what you also run into here as a Zerk is that you need to assault the main base, so you need the Overlord there for high ground vision. But at this point, he doesn't need it because all the Terran protection is right over here. I think that despite the fact that there's a lot of very clever play here from Maru, I don't really see how he's going to hold this. Like, Terran units are going to pop out of those structures over here at the front. There's 1 Marine being built at a time. Bunker here is never going to finish. Yeah, see, like, that's the problem. That Hellion, it popped right out of the... Ooh, that's why you got high ground vision, I guess. Ravager there, or Roach right there, morphing into a cocoon. There's no Banshee coming up. There's no Liberators. I guess a Liberator wouldn't do much either. Maybe you can complete the wall off at the very least? Yeah, Zerk doesn't really care. Nah, at this point, Dark is smelling blood in the water. He's going across the map. He's like a piranha right now. There's no dogs, there's no piranhas, but there is Dark. And he's a dangerous man. Very good smell, apparently. Very good nose. It's probably a better way of putting it. Anyways, there is triple CC, so Maru does have a dream. He's like, those yellow mining machines served me well in the previous game. Let me drop them right in the middle of a Zerk infestation inside of my main mineral line. There's just more and more Zerk coming across. Dark actually did miss a Queen Inject, it seems, because he's got quite a few resources here in total. Yeah. Imagine if he wouldn't have missed the Queen Inject. If Maru can hold on, that would be insane. It shouldn't happen. It really shouldn't. Maru probably a little confused right now as well. He's like, what's going on? Yeah, turns out Dark just made a mistake. He's coming in with 9 more roaches, though. Yeah, okay. A little bit sloppy, maybe not perfect, bit of aggression, but it worked out for the Zerk. Map number 3 is Glittering Ashes. This music is always very, very wild. The leader of the orchestra is going absolutely crazy, but what he doesn't realize is that, you know, we just have 2 guys making workers. Very unfamiliar with the game, apparently. It's a bit cringe, really. We should have some nice calming music at this point, okay? Anyways, I'll take some Terran 3. Terran 3 from the original game. That'd be nice. How many barracks are we gonna make, Maru? 1? 1? No, dude. Pull one of those SCVs. Make another one. I think he's only gonna make 1, guys. It is Glittering Ashes. This is a map that's absolutely ginormous, meaning that it takes those units a while to get across, so he's probably mostly just gonna treat it as a scout. Speaking of scouting, I think that this is Dark doing the thing that we saw Sero and Raynor doing for some time. I haven't really seen this much over the last few months. Interestingly enough, this has also had an effect on the ladder. I was actually talking about this on stream a few days ago. But about a year ago, I used to see a lot of proxy barracks from Terran. And these days, it's become very unpopular at the pro level because for a while, both Raynor and Sero, and I think a couple of other professional Zerks as well, they were basically just drone scouting their side of the map, looking for proxy barracks. They were doing this for like pretty much every single ZVT they were playing for several months. And then they stopped doing it because Terrans had their proxies found. And ever since then, Terrans haven't really gone for a whole lot of proxy barracks anymore. It had some like trickle-down strategies. Is that a thing? Trickle-down strategies towards the ladder? Yeah, that's definitely a thing. I haven't really seen it a whole lot in the ladder, even though I personally never really done it.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. Killing spree. Shut down. Double kill. An enemy has been slain. Shut down. Shut down. Rampage. Ally has been slain. Slain an enemy. Unstoppable. An ally has been slain. Shut down. Dominating. Double kill. Turret plating will soon fall. Your turret has been destroyed. Legendary.
Death from afar.
Shut down.
No escape.
Shut down. Enemy double kill. Your team has destroyed a turret. Your turret has been destroyed. Ally has been slain. Enemy double kill. Your team has destroyed a turret. You have been slain. You have slain. Your team has destroyed a turret. Shut down. You have been slain. Shut down.
Position.
Enemy killing spree. An ally has been slain. Shut down. Ally has been slain.
Trustworthy prey.
Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy has been stopped. Has destroyed a turret. An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Double kill. You have slain an enemy. An enemy is godlike. An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed.
Ready to reap.
Ally has been slain. Enemy.
They'll never see me.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
This world is delicious.
Shut down.
I skewer.
You have been slain. Shut down. Ace. An enemy has been slain.
Hear the voice.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed a turret. Enemy double kill. Rampage. An ally has been slain.
Death from afar.
Your turret has been destroyed. Has been destroyed. Aced.
And I do feel like at the pro level, we can definitely suspect some proxy Rexes once again because Zerg players have for the most part stopped doing it. But anyways, Maru not going for any proxies so far in the series. Just going for a brutal conventional 1-1-1 it seems. Curious to see if he adds on a third command center before going for... Just a second, guys. Okay. I was going to say, if he goes for a third command center before building a starport. 6 Zerglings once again here from Dark. Another stylistic choice. Rogue and Dark usually go for 6, whereas Raynor and Sarah usually go for 4. Don't know why. I think that 4 is... or sorry, 6 is excessive, and I guess in Korea I think that 6 is just barely enough. I don't know. Either way, it's totally okay. You can do one of the two.